Yesterday, on the 3-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the UN General Assembly adopted 2 resolutions calling for an end to the war. Notably, the United States joined Russia in voting against the first one, and the U.S. abstained from voting in its own second resolution, which acknowledged the loss of life on both sides, but did not mention Russia's aggression or condemn the invasion. The Trump administration abstained because it did not agree with amendments to the resolution that called out Russia, rightly, I would say, as the invading aggressor. I mean, this is a shocking change from the U.S., and it comes after President Donald Trump decided to open direct negotiations with Russia last week on ending this war that did not include the country that Russia invaded, Ukraine. Our country went from throwing bipartisan support behind Ukraine, the country that got invaded, had its territory stolen by Russia, has been bombed to smithereens, onto the side of Russia, the country that did the invading. It's something that does not really happen that often in foreign affairs, certainly not in American affairs. Retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman served as the Director of European Affairs for National Security Council in Trump's first administration until he resigned in February 2020. He's the author of the new book, The Folly of Realism: How the West Deceived Itself About Russia and Betrayed Ukraine. It just came out today. You can get it wherever books are sold. He joins me now. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with the specifics, and then I want to talk about your book. Have we ever seen a 180 of this magnitude at your time working in foreign policy?
It's not just in my time in foreign policy. I'm a history student, and I can't think about a reversal that our country faced transitioning between different administrations, Republican, Democrat to Republican, that is such an about face. There's always some level of continuity. Foreign affairs, there's a famous line that politics ends at the nation's shores. There tends to be some continuity. This absolute 180-degree reversal is unprecedented.
To someone that says, yeah, Putin seems bad, Russia seems bad, they do seem like the aggressor, but the war does seem like it's gone on for a while and does make sense to negotiate some peace. So what's wrong with this?
I think if you have a path towards peace, that's great. But if you're repeating the same mistakes that we've done for the past 30 years that I talk about in The Folly of Realism, catering to Russia, conducting a Russia-first policy, succumbing to hopes that you could do more with Russia, that's what's being dangled in front of Trump right now, or fears that Russia is going to, escalate to war. If you're repeating those same mistakes over and over, it doesn't get you closer to peace. If anything, it's a huge setback to the agenda of peace, because now Putin banks those gimmies, that appeasement, and looks to do more. He looks for complete capitulation.
Yeah, I think I'm always worried about appeasement analogies because they can be over-deployed. I've heard way too many Saddam Hussein, Neville Chamberlain during the run-up to the Iraq War. But in the case here of what happened in Crimea particularly, and then the escalation in Ukraine, with no real provocation in between other than the Ukrainians deciding who they wanted to be their own leader, it does seem like it has some teeth.
Well, I think I think I'd like to take it in a more delicate way and talk about specifically this idea of hopes and fears. Hopes that Russia could be integrated into the democratic order in the 90s. Somewhat justified, lots of, at the end of the Cold War, lots of aspirations for Russia and Ukraine. Fears that if you take a hard line to Russia with conditionality or condemnation, that could break the relationship and you recede back into Cold War. That may have been justified in the 90s. By the time you get to the 2000s, it's absolutely clear that Russia is moving in the direction of a bad actor, whether it's the Chechen wars, whether it's the graduation from mischief-making, malign influence to outright hybrid warfare like they did mucking around in the Ukrainians' election, or military aggression starting in Georgia and then graduating through Ukraine. That is a clear case of the U.S. not following its own best interests, somehow trying to pin Russia back and support the vulnerable allies so that they're harder targets. We did none of that.
One of the things, I've been very sympathetic to, through the years, left critiques of sort of liberal internationalism, even critiques of NATO, largely because there's a hypocrisy and tension inherited, like rules-based international order and values, but like Mohammed bin Salman, like we need Saudi and we need and we're not going to cross Israel and the national, on UN resolutions because they're our ally and we stand behind them. The particulars don't really matter there. So there's lots of room for that critique of the hypocrisy. But the Trump alternative is a kind of almost gangsterism. I mean, today we've got this news about the mineral deal, right? Like, what's in it for me? What's in it for us? give us your mineral, give us your treasure, or we won't protect you.
The interesting thing is that there is maybe a right way of doing this. There's some transactionality that's important. The best relationships that we've had with Ukraine, with partners, is when there's a combination of values and interests. If Ukraine could hook the U.S. with mineral deals that are fair and Ukraine gets investment for them, that could be something that garners the Trump administration's attention. But it can't be gangsterism. It has to be something that serves both parties. I think that's where we might get to, even though the soundbite is Trump wins.
You worked in the Trump White House. You were sort of at the center of that first phone, the perfect phone call, the impeachment, all that. Why does he hate Ukraine so much? Why does he hate Zelensky?
He hates it because he was caught up, that phone call that I reported precipitated the first impeachment, and he blames Ukraine for that.
Right.
Not his own corruption that precipitated it. He blames other folks because he's an egotistical narcissist. So he wants to settle a score with Ukraine. He also wants to cater to Putin, who he admires greatly, the strongman machismo and things of that nature. So some of that is understandable. But what he's doing now actually is almost inexplicable. I mean, it's almost like a Manchurian Candidate type situation because, there's nothing in it for him. He's not going to get his deal.
Nor is there much political upside, I think. That's the other thing about this. There's not the huge constituency for this particular foreign policy he's pursuing. Alexander Vindman, thank you. His new book, The Folly of Realism, is out today. You should check it out.